Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back, y'all. My name is Danielle, and this is my spiritual journey. Okay, so yesterday's video was about the new moon watcher. Today is going to be about full moon watcher. When we have the full moon, the moon is 100% illuminated. It is at its peak energy, and this is a time for celebration. It is a time for releasing things that no longer serve us, letting go. We still have our gratitude throughout the entirety of the days. At least I do. Okay, so uses for moon water for the full moon. We're going to do the same setup as yesterday. I'm going to go over it quickly because some of you watched the video from the new moon water. So again, I'm just going to say that we will definitely be cleansing our container. But before we get into that, let's say what we may be using this water for. And again, still can use it for your ancestors for or whatever altar you may have. It may be instead of ancestors, you may have gods and goddesses, you may have angels, you may have archangels, you may have, it is up to you. You know, you may have several altars. You can definitely charge and put out several containers of glass containers to collect your moon water. So it's up to you in how you do it. But some of the uses would be, again, let's say that, we are traveling and we have our full moon energy. So things that we may use it for traveling is again definitely gratitude for the ability to travel, gratitude for the abundance of things that you have that enables you to be able to travel. Maybe you have people who are, in each place and you can be thankful and grateful for them, full peak energy. You can also just be calling in the full peak energy, So, man, every time I'm going to all these different places, I have full maximum energy, no jet lag, whatever, whatever it is, you can definitely use it for that, or you can just not charge it at all. Like I said in a previous video, not charge it at all. Just know that you are giving your ancestors, just being in alignment with nature and just giving them water. That is in, it holds the full moon energy. And, you can also, when you're giving that water to your ancestors, be like, okay, so this is just to rejuvenate y'all, to invigorate y'all, to keep y'all completely full of peak energy as you guys, help me, guide me, listen to me, speak to me, because, depending on how you use your ancestors or speak with your ancestors or what that relationship is, they speak in one way, or let's just say we pay attention. And so it's usually one way that we get the messages. But then as time goes, then we can get messages from them in various ways. And so they can also get to where they are telling us things, different experiences that they've had, different ways that their experiences can help us today, things that they admire about us and, how we are living our lives and, all the different things. I have a kinfolk. I've never met her in person, in living life. She actually passed several generations before I was even born, before my parents were even born. And so, her energy is just bouncy energy, and I love her energy. But she is just grateful that I travel because that's what she did. She did it. Her people were not um they were not accepting as easily accepting of her traveling because it was more dangerous and because she was more, I'm friendly, but she was even more friendly. So it's just like different things, but she'll pop up, be bouncing all over the place. But yeah, that's just her energy. And so you can do things that help them and just to give back. It doesn't have to be where you're charging your moon water to be for a certain use or anything, but understand that it is when the moon is at its peak energy. And so that can definitely help you in a lot of ways. But again, we're going to clean our jar. I use mason jars, but we're going to clean our jars. We're going to put our intention on the jars, and then we will get water. Again, some people use rainwater, some people use tap water. I use bottled spring water. And you do whatever feels in alignment with you. I will say this. I didn't mention it on my other video, but sometimes with the moon water, I will drink it, especially if I'm doing some type of ceremony with my ancestors. So I will drink the same water. And so I'm not just given any funky ASS water. Like it's got to be water that I'm going to drink. And, I want all of us are equals, so my ancestors, they're equals as well. They have different strengths than I do, but we're all equals. And so I'm not going to give them anything that I wouldn't consume myself. I'm not about to be sipping on some rainwater. I'm not about to be sipping on some tap water. And so that's why I use, because I do want to let you know why I choose to use the water that I use. There's certain ceremonies, there's certain acts that do take place. And I am one that ends up drinking that water as well, just to, be like a fellowship type thing. Also, there will be where I have, if you're doing it and you're giving your plants, which I have done as well, you're giving your plants some of the moon water. I understand why some people might be like, okay, well, I use rainwater, I use this, I use this. That's completely understandable. So, again, know why it is that you're doing what you're doing. And I forgot to put that in the last video, but I'm letting you know now. It's because sometimes I do partake of the water as well. And it's just part of, different ceremonies that I have going on, excuse me, with my people. And so, yeah, let's see. So once we have done all that, excuse me, we will see when the sun sets. Once the sun sets, I take my jar out. If I'm taking it out, I take my jar out when there is no sunlight, like no sunlight. So it's darkety dark outside. The moon is the only thing that's going to be lighting, the way, unless you're somewhere where it's like street lights and things like that. But yeah, it also, I am in a position, I also hold the perspective of my jar doesn't have to go outside. It doesn't have to go outside. So those are some of the things to definitely keep in mind. Just what works for you. Does it work to take it outside? And again, like I said in my video yesterday, I was in Mexico. I was not about to go outside, not it wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. There were times where, I went outside one time through the front door. And it was dark outside. And I was like, this is not gonna happen again. This is not gonna happen again. True, there's no iguanas out that I saw because the iguanas usually go away, right when the bats and stuff are coming out. But it's just big stuff out there, and I'm not trying to run across those paths. And when you're not on a main street, and then you probably got a little bit more stuff. And then there was a lot of overgrowth and things like that in the properties around me. So yeah, I'm gonna do a hard pass on leaving out of my space place at night. So that meant even opening up my patio door. Shoot, even when I opened the patio door during the day, the iguanas were big, but the geckos were small. There was always somebody's gecko trying to come in or actually getting into my condo when I opened up the patio door. And so they would just like hide in the little grooves of the track. And then as soon as you open the door, before you even get the door all the way open, they already done run in. And it's just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, I completely get it. Again, that's why I strongly feel that, don't do the black and white thing, right and wrong. Don't do that. Getting up on the roof, I don't know what there are people who feel like, you have to get on the roof to collect your moon water. I don't know where they live at, but I'm not getting my ass up on nobody's roof. Okay. I'm not about to clean a gutter. So I'm sure not about to get up and figure out how to get moon water up on a roof that is usually going to be slanted. Yeah, y'all playing games. I'm not playing with y'all. Go find someone else to play with. But yeah, I don't do any of that. So, those are my things. And again, like if you have different tools and supplies that you want to take with you. Like you're going to be doing a ritual, you're going to do you have a normal standing ritual that you do for the full moon. You can put those tools out there as well and get those infused with the same energy that you are putting into your moon water. Or if you don't, then that's fine as well. It's just completely up to you on how big or how not big you go. It's just up to you. You can easily take steps and increase in your steps as you go. Maybe this month I'm just going to try this, see how it works. And then when you do something, that's usually how it will happen with me. Let's say that this month I'm just going to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to do plain moon water. It's not a specific goal in mind, but I'm just going to use the moon water. And then I may find that, oh, shoot, I usually do this on such and such a day. And this moon water would have been great if I would have had more or if I would have done it for a specific thing. And you can always charge it later, right? Like the same way you can have glasses, right? You can have glasses and you can charge your glasses to do something completely different every single day. Like you don't have to. It's the same with the water that I'm drinking. Like I charge it with different things, it's not the same thing that I'm charging it with. So don't feel like because you've already charged the moon water, you can't do X, Y, and Z. But sometimes I see it as me putting it in the moon. It's kind of like sealing it in and, tampering it down with the wax seal type thing. So it just depends on how you want to view it and how you want to see it. I'm trying to make sure that y'all understand how flexible things can be and how you can use it in any way that you want to use it. So, you know, I'm hoping that this makes sense to y'all. But yeah, so you would just charge the water and just, yeah, have it again with it at its full potential. You can just charge it so that that same energy and momentum is used during your travels, using the example from the other day from the last video. And so you can do it so that it's that way. Just, yeah, and definitely ancestors, trees, flowers, herbs, all the things. It's just a way of pouring intentional water into them instead of just going to get tap water or get a water hose or whatever the case and just dumping water to be like, let me feed my plants. To me, it's more intentional. I had to take more steps to get this water. And so it's a higher quality water no matter what. So that's my thing. Okay, so again, we went through washing the water, charging the water. I use spring water, putting the water outside. Let's say if I put the water out at 7 p.m., I'm going to bring it in by 10, 12, 2 a.m. So 10 p.m., 12 a.m., 2 a.m. Just depends on when I go to sleep is when I pull it in, is what I'm getting to. I do not let the sun touch my moon water, meaning if my water is outside, I'm going to bring it in before the sun starts to get ready to wake up, right? So I'm doing that. I'm just going to have it outside. Sometimes it can be out there for 2 hours and then I'm done because I'm sleepy. So so that's the real thing. I just bring it in before I go to sleep that night, and then my water goes on my altar. That's where it sits until I use it. If I use it and I use all of it up, then it just depends on what I may do. If I use all of it up, I will go and clean the jar, dry the jar, and put the jar back on the altar because it is almost, think of it like a sacred dish, right? I'm not sitting here trying to use, and that's why I say you use what you can or what you have available to you. But if I have, let's say, 2 or 3 mason jars that I'm using for moon water, I am not drinking out of those mason jars, right? Those are not mine. Those are for the altar. Those two things, altar, spell work, whatever the case is, that's what they're for. They're not for me to just have in my rotation and then off chance, we're like, oh shoot, it's time to collect this, this, and this, and then I use it for that. That's me. Now, if you have a limited supply of things, for example, for me, I don't like a lot of dishes, right? I'm one person and I don't expect people to come to my house eating my food, right? So I don't have dishes. Like, let's say that there were 4 people that came over to my house to eat some food. Trust, there's only 2 plates. 2 plates. I'm not gonna say two glasses because there's endless glasses because I also drink out of mason jars, which I've told y'all before, but there's different things. We're not gonna have a lot of forks or spoons or knives or anything like that because I'm one person. I'm not sitting here trying to wash dishes all day and night. I don't know. And I like to wash my dishes as soon as I use them. So yeah, I don't have that. But let's say that, you are someone with limited supply of dishes and glassware. Maybe you do have to drink out of the same glass that you are using to collect your moon water. Okay, then just make sure that you're setting it aside if you want to. To me, that would be a way to differentiate between this is the use that it's for right now, which is just my personal use. I'm just drinking some water and whatever the case is, versus here I'm using this for sacred work type thing, that kind of thing. Just like if you use a table and your table also is where you do your spell work or whatever the case is, conjuring, whatever it is, if you use a table for that, that's cool. But if you also eat at that table, hopefully you are cleaning the table between the different uses, right? I hope that makes sense. That's going to be in a whole nother video. So let me not switch over and flip over and things like that. But hopefully y'all get what I'm talking about. Okay, so I am going to actually transition over so that we can talk about other uses that the full moon water may be used for. Again, there are certain people who will subscribe to right and wrong. Positive, negative, good and bad, and all those things. And so, if that is you and you only want what you consider to be good energy and good spiritual practices and all that, then this latter part of this video may be offensive to you. And so, I give you this moment to, first of all, thank you for watching the video this far. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And time to tune away now because I'm going to give other uses that, people may be able to use the same energy of the moon for. So you may find it offensive. So I'll give you a little bit to go ahead and turn off the video and I'll check with y'all another time. All right. Bye. Yeah. Okay. So if you are still here, then you want to know the other uses for full moon energy, water. So let's go with our same people where they were talking about us or harassing us or whatever the case is. And now we want to use the full moon energy, right? But the full moon energy is again, it's full moon energy. It's at its peak energy. So how could you use that to get people to stop talking about you? Get creative, y'all. Just think about the situation in a completely different way. So if somebody's talking about you, you don't want to use the full moon energy where it's at its peak energy to be like, um, stop talking about me in all of, you can definitely use it to still do a stop talking about me, put their name in a freezer type thing, just with that kind of whatever, use the water for that. But I would definitely say to use it to fortify yourself, right? A lot of times we are always trying to figure out how to do things to other people, but sometimes we need to do things to ourselves. And so you can, and I told you in yesterday's video that this is going to show you a peek into other different things that you can do with energy and so forth. And so I strongly would suggest if someone's talking about you or harassing you, then you can also use this energy, full moon energy, full peak potential energy to fortify yourself. Fortify yourself so that, maybe that person who's talking about you, um, almost how you can imagine how something can reflect or deflect off of you and hit them back, you know, hit them back. Then it's just like, oh, let me stop talking about this person because every time I talk about this person, some ish happens to me, that kind of thing. And so, you can fortify yourself so that it is more reflective, and this would be in general. It doesn't have to be for that specific person, but it could be in general. Y'all, the sun is starting to come through and peek on my face. But it could it could be that you use it that way. Other people can say that, okay, well, I'm using the peak energy, so I'm going to use the peak energy, the momentum and everything to stop you from talking about me. And you just want to stop somebody, right? So you can use it for that as well. And again, I do not, there is no, for me, there is no, that's bad and that's, you shouldn't do it, because imagine how much more at peace you are because something happens. And I know people are just like, oh man, well, that makes you stronger. Well, sometimes people are tired of being strong from people talking about them, throwing, they say sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. But names do hurt. People talking about you, that does hurt. And I know that from firsthand experience. And so sometimes you just want to be able to stand up for yourself and to defend yourself without necessarily stooping to their level. And so you can just harness the invisible power of energy, right? And so it's just like, you can do all those things. You may do where you do, like I said, all of them. Instead of just doing one, you can do all of them where you can just stop the person, do some type of ritual or spell where you are literally using that energy of the full moon to stop that person from talking about you or harassing you or whatever the case is. To get them to redirect that energy with all its force or whatever to somebody else, or give them, just go fetch a purple grapefruit, just get them so busy with other things that they don't have time for you anymore. They don't see you for whatever reason. They don't even see you anymore. Just blind them with the light of the full moon energy. And so you don't even see me. There's so many different things that you can do. I have given you some examples, so hopefully you get to see what I'm talking about. And I want to make sure that you are understanding, because once I start telling you other examples of how to use energy and spiritual energy, then you'll be like, oh, okay, I get it now. And so, it's just so that we can be protected, protect ourselves, protect others that we love, and not even be that kind of like, oh, here's another example. This isn't this isn't about a person, but let's say that you want to use the energy of the full moon, like you may be someone who is afraid of dogs, right? Or afraid of some specific animal or something, and just harness that energy, that strength, that confidence. Like imagine it's something like the moon is putting out its peak energy. Like you can move mountains. And so just embrace that and harness that energy and just, yeah, you can do some stuff, y'all, and just be walking in your confidence and boldness and be like, okay, I see you. That doesn't mean that you pet it. That doesn't mean that you give it a kiss or anything like that, but you're not so afraid. Like you see yourself for who you are in all your power, right? Full moon energy. We see ourselves in all our power. And this little thing right here is not about to deter me. Like I'm gonna stay firm on my path. I'm leaving out the door. I'm leaving out the door. There's a dog. Okay, well, I'm going to still walk in my fullness. This dog may be scary. If the dog is off a leash, yeah, you could be like, okay, well, I'm gonna hold back a little bit because you still have common sense, right? But if you see that the dog looks like he's minding his business and other people have walked outside and that dog ain't no kind of ways bothered by them people, then you're like, oh shoot, the dog don't even see me. Blind you with the full moon energy so that you don't even see me either. Like I'm gonna continue to go about my day and walk and do my thing. So I've had to do that in Mexico too, because they have so many street dogs, guys. But yeah, it's just amazing. So many things that you can do with the energy. And some people may see it as, we don't do it with that. We do this only. I'm not that person. Um, but remember, if you are using the energy against someone, you want to do apples to apples, right? You don't want to do something that is completely outlandish. So, like if someone cuts you off in traffic and flips you off, you don't come back on them and it's just like, man, I hope you get into a wreck. Like, nope, we don't do that because again, the same way that you have put that on them, someone can put that on you. And if you aren't protected or don't know how to protect yourself or anything like that, then that ish is going to come back on you. And you don't want that. Like, we don't need any extra energy that doesn't serve us coming at us, right? We all walk around with energy that doesn't serve us, so we don't need any extras that is just on us. Like we need to go through. We definitely need to make sure that we are shedding energy that no longer serves us on a regular basis. And guys, the full moon energy is also a time for you to do that actual thing. And so that is something that you can actually do as well. It's just add that layer. Um, I see it and I do it, but I don't know that word for you right now. But just add that layer of protection. Imagine if you had where you did do the full moon energy and you drank the water, right? You charged it with all the things and then you drank the water, or you charged it with that energy and then you divvy it up so that you're drinking that water every single day for like a month, right? So that full moon energy is something that you're drinking every single day for a lunar cycle. And it's just like, okay, I am standing in my confidence. I am building my confidence. And any energy that no longer serves me is just going to bounce right off of me. It is not going to affect me because I don't need it. My hands are full with all of the abundance that I have. And energy that doesn't serve me, this is just, let it continue to be over there because it doesn't serve me. Even if I'm not aware that this energy doesn't serve me, let something happen so that it doesn't make its way to me. All those things, y'all, are things that you can do with this here energy. And it's a way to protect yourself, whereas other people are, again, like I said, there are people who are just like, no, if something's going to happen, let it happen. It's just going to build me up and make me a stronger person type thing. But I'm one that's just like, man, if you could protect yourself, protect yourself. So that's what I have for you. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, y'all put in the comment section. Look at y'all, if you are just looking at this video, look at the new moon water video as well, because I do put some other things in there that I didn't put in this one because it's just like, do I really want to repeat myself on everything? No, I do not. So refer to video A, refer to the new moon water video so that, excuse me, and so that you can see some of the things that I discussed, but didn't talk about in this one, and so forth and so on. All right, y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. If you do comment, again, no shenanigans because I actually leave the shenanigans in the comment section. If you see any unanswered shenanigans in my comment section, it's just so that everybody else can see ignorance and just know that it's there and it exists. But but seriously, if I don't answer your comment or give you a heart, a like, or something like that, I'm likely going to be doing I'm likely going to do a video on it so that you can get a deeper understanding. Like if I start typing a response and it's like 5,000 sentences, I'm like, let me just go on and do a video. So yeah. Okay. Until next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye, y'all.